go back to the show with our special guest today, Robert Portnoy. Robert is the new voice of the Lobos, coming over from the Albuquerque Isotopes, where he was for several years. Robert, great to have you on the Morning Brew.
It's nice to be with you, Larry. Great to see you, Aaron.
Thank you for being here. And it's fun. It's crazy because you always hear these voices and you never actually meet people. So it's nice to actually finally meet you.
Face to the voice, but it's really fun. I love your set. This is neat.
Oh, thank you.
You guys have been borrowing a little bit for the coaches show, haven't you?
Yes, we have. I've gotten pretty familiar with this space over the last few weeks.
I bet you have. I want to just give you a little personal story. I was listening to you call the Lobo game when they were on their way, hopefully, to the College World Series, and I could just tell the heartbreak in your voice when we fell short at that game. And your call was really wonderful. You had me on the edge of my seat.
No, I appreciate that, Larry. It was a great day and a tough day because the Lobos are, in the NCAA tournament. They're
Right.
at a regional. They have a lead, and as it started to dissipate, and then the reality that they were going to extra innings, and then they were eliminated. Heartbreak for sure, and I'm sure you could tell right away.
I could feel it. Well, I was feeling it too. Did you enjoy doing the Isotopes those years?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here in Albuquerque. That put me in a position where I could be the voice of the Lobos. My time with the Isotopes was amazing. They have such an incredible front office, and I thank them for everything. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about which sports you actually are the voice of? Because I know,
Sure.
So you're baseball,
Yeah.
football,
And men's basketball.
men's basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool gig, Robert.
That is a lot of fun.
I have no complaints. No, it's really a dream come true. I mean, these are the sports as a kid that I love to follow, that I played, that you were in your backyard with your friends pretending to be so-and-so from your favorite college team or your favorite pro team. And those are the three that I've loved really since I could walk. And now here I am. I get to go to those venues for a living, and work year-round for the Lobos. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, who's your new color guy on football?
Yeah, his name is George Carter. He's a former Lobo. He was a linebacker. His last 2 seasons with the Lobos, he was a starter. He finished up 06 and 07 as a starting linebacker, and he's a budding broadcasting star.
He sounds great. Tell him I said so.
I will, Larry, and you're right. His voice is amazing. I mean, any voice next to his is going to sound, completely high-pitched, and he's got this booming baritone. He's really, and you know what? He's really smart. And very, very knowledgeable about football. So
Sure.
He's coming along so well.
Is it hard to be a voice of sports and not let your emotions get in the way? Because whenever I hear, I'm just always like, oh man, and I just imagine it must be hard for you to kind of hold back sometimes.
Well, you know what? I think that it's my responsibility as the voice of the Lobos for them to be able to feel what's happening. I'm really trying to watch the games through the Lobo lens because that's what the Lobo fans, want. That's what they're seeing, or that's what they want to be able to see, and I'm trying to convey, those pictures to them through my words. So it's like Larry said with the baseball. If they can, I want them to be able to tell, whether the Lobos are up or whether the Lobos are down or how things are going when they tune in. But you're right. I mean, there is a level of objectivity that you still have to maintain. And you can't go completely over the top with it. So there's a balance to be struck.
Are you able to be critical, though? Have they given you enough leeway if the team is kind of screwing up, you can say so?
Well, sure. I mean, you want to tell it like it is, and you want to be fair.
Yeah.
So, when they could do something better, we want to point that out. And when the other team is playing great, we want to point that out. Great football, great basketball, great baseball, great plays within those sports. There's still great plays, even if the other team pulls them off. So you're going to get excited about those. Yeah.
And then also, besides just being the voice of the Lobo, which is pretty awesome in itself, you also do the coaches show on Sundays. What has that been like?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. The U Public crew is just amazing, by the way. I've learned a ton already in just a couple of weeks, and the show is taking off. I mean, it's each week we fine tune it, and it's getting better and better. And Coach Davey's amazing. And I can't. It will continue on, obviously, through basketball as well. I look forward to bringing Coach Neal in here too. So anyway, just having a ton of fun with that.
We have a clip.
Let's see it.
Let's watch it. Here's a clip of the Lobo Coaches Show with Robert hosting.
Welcome back on the Lobo Coaches Show alongside the head football coach for the University of New Mexico, Bob Davie. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, and it's time for our Subway Ask the Coach segment. Every week we ask Coach Bob Davie a question that is submitted by a fan. You can do it at golobos.com. And our question comes from David in Berlin this week. With 2 weeks to get ready for UNLV, what do you think the QB situation will look like after both Mitchum and Gauci played at Pitt?
Yeah, David.
There you go.
That looks quite familiar.
It does.
Pretty sharp. We changed the color on the chair.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it. It works. It's our little
very,
inside.
Yeah, bright cherry is what they go with. Yeah. It's a little Art Deco too.
Well, I don't know. It must be kind of difficult sometimes interviewing coaches right after games. Either they're in a really good mood or it's kind of somber. It's like,
Well, you definitely want to be careful and try to gauge their mood from one week to the next. And but Coach Davie is a pro. He was on ESPN television for 10 years, so
He knows you have a job.
He's been in front of a camera a bunch, and he gets it.
And the thing is, the Lobos, the football team, have actually been doing really good this year. I mean, Pittsburgh's just a really good team.
You're right.
So
no, you're right. They definitely went up in class when they went to Pitt, and it was a great learning experience for them. I know that, and I thought about it this way too. Now you have your barometer. Just 3 weeks in, you haven't even played a league game yet, and you've played your toughest game. You've seen the most physical, the most talented, the most athletic, the best team that you're going to play all year. You've already put it behind you, and it's uphill from here. Yeah.
Now, you travel with the team, so that means you get to talk to a lot of the players. Are you getting close to any of them, and they're talking with you and sharing their experiences?
There's some great stories on this team, and it's Coach Davie is so impressive in the way his message is conveyed to his players. They're all unbelievably, polite and cordial, and so it's very easy to get to know them. They welcome you in. At least they have me. I couldn't have asked for more from them. And yeah, there are way too many stories to put into one morning brew, but it's been really, really fun, and we're only 3 weeks in. But going to camp with them in Ruidoso was invaluable.
Oh, that had to be a great time.
Yeah, great
What'd you do with yourself down there? I mean, you're not working out or anything. You just hang out and watch them practice?
Absolutely.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, and I got to sit in on their meetings. I mean,
Did you?
I got to sit in on their film sessions, everything. I learned more about football in 2 weeks in Ruidoso than I've learned in my entire life. I can't express to you how complicated, how complex, how intricate, how detailed everything is. Those guys, the players don't get enough credit for how smart they are, and the coaches those guys are as smart as any electrical engineer, computer science engineer you've ever met. I challenge any one of those other fields to spend a week just trying to learn one position with all the different things that they have to know. They couldn't do it. It's really amazing.
Yeah. So then basketball season's coming up too. How do you juggle football season and basketball season when they kind of come together there for a minute?
Yeah. Scott Dietrichson is the color person for basketball. He really should be coaching somewhere. He's that good, but he's also an amazing announcer. And so when there are times where I can't be in two places at once, Scott does the play-by-play for the basketball team during those periods where the football and basketball seasons do overlap. So he's phenomenal, and he could do the play-by-play on his own by himself the whole season. He's that good. So literally it's seamless when that happens.
We're just a short time left, Robert. Who did you grow up listening to, calling sports, that you emulate or have as your ideal role model?
There are many, but
mine was Vin Scully.
Because when I was a little boy, we lived in Southern California.
Yeah.
Dick Enberg and Vin Scully were the two guys. I also loved Bob Costas, and of course the Monday Night Football crew. Oh my gosh, with Frank Gifford and Don Meredith and Howard Cosell when I was a little boy. I mean, we could spend another segment just talking about that. But those are some of my favorites. Yeah.